Hi, welcome to New Jersey Wedding Podcast. Thank you for joining us. This is the podcast to listen to when you're planning your wedding in the state of New Jersey or really anywhere. We give great advice. And this is your first time joining us, we are your hosts, Andrea Pertel and Celia Milton, and we are both professional wedding officiants here in the state of New Jersey. Hello, Celia. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. It's another gorgeous cold day in New Jersey.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Winter is upon us now.
it's getting there, right? I know. And but it's Monday, which is kind of like our weekend. So that's kind of
Right.
cool. Kind
Right.
of
And we did have a great weekend. It was
Oh
another
man, it was
very
great.
pretty fall weekend here in Jersey. I know you had a very unique ceremony. Tell us about your weekend of wedding.
I love we had a bunch of elopements and in various parks in
Yeah, same
Jersey
here.
City, and Michael was kind of all over the place. He was at the chart house too, and everything kind of yeah. You know what? It was raining on Friday when he did the chart house, but they have this view of the New York City skyline that goes the whole entire building. And even in the rain, it was so beautiful. And the timing was just absolutely perfect. So it was like just kind of like real dark with all those lights. Oh my God, it was beautiful. But I had a great wedding on Saturday at a community theater.
Oh,
And I
fun.
I love it was so much fun. My couple met they met at an acting school in New York City years ago, and it's always been part of their thing. They volunteer for community theater, and they act, and they're and I think he teaches drama. I'm not really sure, but they were just like great. And they started to look for places to get married, and they really, really wanted to get married in a theater. And they looked kind of all over the place, and they couldn't find anything until they landed at Stageworks in Pompton Lakes.
Uh-huh.
And it is so cute. The building is like adorable. And the people there were so into it. We got married on stage, but their whole theme was like, you're coming to the play. It's like it's finally happened. And they had playbills printed up with, all the guests, because it was little. It was like, 45, 46 people. And they had all the people in the program, in the playbill, as if they were actors with little descriptions about everybody. I mean,
Oh, that's great.
it
That's
was so
great.
sweet. And we walked out on stage and did our thing. And it's funny because it never really occurred to me how much of my standard parts of my ceremony, like the rings and the thing at the end, it's a lot of it is very theater based. And it was very cool. We had a beautiful reading at the beginning about love starting in the footlights behind the footlights, and like kind of climbing out into real life. It was just really, really sweet. And just it really kind of made me think. I was looking forward to it all, for a couple of weeks since I started to write their ceremony, because it was so different, and it was such a case of people seizing on what they really love to inform what they're going to do for their wedding. And we see that all the time. You just did a gamer wedding, and I have a car theme wedding coming up. I can't even stand it. I said, I don't even tell me what you're coming to this wedding in. I want to
Oh,
be
yeah, that's
surprised.
going to be
I
neat
just
when
want to
the
be
car they
surprised.
pull up
But,
in. Yeah.
but I really love it when people are unafraid to do what they want to do to express their personalities at
Yeah.
their wedding. It's just so
I
fun.
I love it. I love it.
You know,
Yeah, when they can infuse their ceremony with their personality
so fun.
and yeah, and you wrote such a beautiful ceremony for that, the theater one, because I know
Love
you
it.
shared the opening with me and stuff. It's so much fun to write that too, isn't it? At first, it's always like, okay, where am I going to begin, you
Yeah,
know?
what am I going to do with this? I
Yeah,
know.
and then the pieces start coming together, and
Yeah.
it's a process, and then it feels so good when you have it done. And then always we send it to the couples, and most of the time they're like, oh, this is just great. I just love connecting with my couples that way. It's a lot of fun.
And it's so fun for us. It was so interesting because in the space that they had, they set it up like a dinner theater kind of
Uh-huh.
for the ceremony. And then afterwards, I exited down some very steep black stairs in the dark. I was like terrified. I got to tell you. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit down and like bump my sorry self down the stairs like that. But it's like, no, I can like I can get out of here. I just wanted to not be there. I wanted to, not that I didn't want to be there, just did not want to be in that last picture. And
Yeah. Getting out of
and
the pictures.
but
Exit stage left.
yeah, exactly. And but it was so cute because they went over to, they had like a, like kind of a settee, like a fainting chair on stage. It was like a set, really. And they went over there and she put on her dancing shoes and he took his jacket off and they did their first dance on stage. And I mean, it's like making me like a little bit like kind of like verklempt as I think about it. It was just like adorable. They did their first dance and then they did their toast on stage. And but I think, people, our couples, you shouldn't be afraid to, do things that really express yourselves. I did a wedding. Speaking of the car people, I did a wedding in an orchard upstate New York. This is like, it was probably my 10th wedding. And it was outside in an orchard. The bride and her father, everybody was seated. The groom was at the front of the aisle. The bride and her father drove up in a convertible Mustang. They parked it at the end of the aisle. They left it running. They both got out and ran up the aisle, did the ceremony, and they both got back into the Mustang and drove away to do pictures.
I
It
love
was
it.
like hilarious. And it was perfect for them. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I like
Oh,
the ones I have I'm by the shore and we get the yacht clubs
mm.
here and like at Bayhead Yacht Club the last time I was there the couple entered in the boat, and they
Oh,
went
that's so
right
great.
in the boat and then at the end they left in the boat and and they just went for a little boat ride around and then went next door to the reception. So, but it was a great ending. It was, so much fun, very
It's fun.
unique and great photo ops.
It's fun. I actually did one on a lake up in by Greenwood Lake, that it's a like a recreational lake, during the summer, but this was in the fall and it was closed and they arrived on a pirate ship.
Oh, I love it. I did a
It
pirate
was
ship
like
wedding too once.
absolutely, it was like the coolest thing ever. And it's there so many ways to personalize a wedding, and just go for it. Do like the weirdest thing you, well,
Yeah,
okay, I don't
I
want to
did.
go there because
I
that
I did a pirate wedding once. There's right
oh
here
my
in
God.
like Brick on the Matitaconk River. There's this pirate boat. It looks just like a pirate boat, and they do like children's birthday parties and things
Oh,
like that
that's so
on it.
great.
But these people, I forget what their connection with this was. Somebody worked there or whatever, but they decided to have their and it was a micro. It was like a little like 12 people. Uh, get married out on the pirate ship. So we all went out on the pirate ship, and it's it looks just like a pirate ship because it's made for parties. And then they all got dressed up. They wore the hats and the eye patch and stuff, and
Oh my
it's just
gosh, that's
great
great.
photos. It was very funny. It was fun. That was their thing. They had a bunch of kids too, so it was kind of
Yeah.
geared towards that. And it was a lot of fun. I love to have that in my portfolio of photo galleries. Here's me on the
Oh yeah.
pirate ship. Here's
Yeah.
here's me with the hawk. Here's
Oh,
me
the
here for
hawk. Yes, the hawk.
that.
That's going to be one of those stories that we tell forever.
I know the hawk with the rings.
Oh my God.
but but those are so much fun, right? Or the
Yeah.
Halloween one where I was dressed as a witch, which was easy, just the witch's hat and the robe. But some of those are fun. They're a lot of well, we do very serious
Mhm.
ceremonies as well, and there's no you can make something with a theme to it also be sacred and serious. It
Of
doesn't have
course.
to be goofy,
Of
so
course.
don't be afraid of that. Speak to us, tell us
Yeah.
what you're thinking,
What's
and
your thing? Yeah, I know.
we'll
You
figure
know
out
what?
how to beautifully weave it in however you like,
Yeah. I think when you're talking to an officiant like, one of us, I mean, we've written thousands of ceremonies and we can get a balance between, the sacred. Even if it's not a religious ceremony, it's an important milestone and it should have some gravitas to it. But
Uh-huh.
it doesn't have to be boring.
Right.
That's, a really a good officiant, a good writer can put this all together in a way that people are laughing, they're crying, they feel moved, they feel like they've witnessed something fantastic. But it doesn't have to be like terrible. It
And
really.
even if you're going for a traditional ceremony, you say, we're not a quirky couple. We don't really have anything like
Yeah.
that. This weekend, I was at the beautiful Clark's Landing. And
Mm,
if you're interested in Clark's Landing, the Mill Lakeside Manor or Bradford Estate, all owned by the same family, we do have a great interview with them.
yes,
So
that was fun.
so look through our library on NewJerseyWeddingPodcast.com and check that out. Clark's Landing is beautiful. I love working there. Very elegant, upscale, just beautiful. But I
Yeah.
was there this weekend, and they had a very traditional ceremony, but um, we caught their personality by picking poems and readings that really reflected them. I mean, it was so
Hmm.
great. The groom, a couple of times, had some tears. He had to look away a little bit. And I was like,
Aw.
just embrace the moment. And then they also had two readers, two of their aunts came up and did a reading that the couple chose. And that was a great way to personalize it by having a family member come up and do a reading. And
Yeah.
so that was really beautiful. So there's different ways to weave in your personality. I too had a bunch of elopements this weekend, like you. I was on the beach in Manalokan. That
That
was
sounds
very
very cold.
beautiful. It was beautiful, and even though it was an elopement, we personalized it with. He is Muslim, she's Christian, so we did a reading from the Quran and also
Mm,
a reading from the Bible. That it was very beautiful. There's you can always personalize it. And then I was at the park, at the gazebo at the park. This couple had been together 23 years and they made it legal. They were a lot of fun. And then I also was in someone's backyard and it was an elopement, but they personalized it with a hand fasting. They were
love
very
that.
into nature based, not pagan, but kind of pagan, the nature based. So we did a hand fasting with the blessings from the northeast, west, and south, which is always
Mm,
beautiful. That was very
I
nice.
love that.
And they only had four people there, but they also had a professional photographer. So,
Mm,
your elopements uh, can include everything you want. And this is really a very popular time for elopements, right?
yes,
End
it
of the
is.
year. There is still time to get married before the end of 2024. And there are a lot of reasons to be married.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's taxes or health insurance or whatever. And between us, we have the best places to
Yeah.
have an elopement, right?
Yeah. We have great little places. If your elopement gets to be a little bit bigger than you thought, we have terrific little restaurants. Michael was at a little historic site this weekend for a wedding, called the Ray House. It's one of the Passaic County Park properties, and it's adorable. It's like a Dutch colonial little house that they've made into an art gallery, and it's just gorgeous. And it's like so inexpensive to do. And his people had, I think they had 12 people. They came in, they had some catering brought in, nothing like crazy and, elaborate, but they had, because they have a brand new little baby. And it was just sweet. It was perfect. It was like having a home wedding without having to clean up and take out the garbage afterwards. It's
Right,
perfect.
right. I actually have an elopement today at 4 p.m. in my home office. I'm lucky enough to have a really nice office that's off to the side of my house. So
Mm,
the people don't, nobody needs to go in my house. It's off to the side, and I have a wedding arch in here, and my office holds the couple and up to six guests. So it's perfect for elopements. It's very cozy and nice for photos, but I'm also 3 minutes from the beach, and you'd be surprised how people love the beach year round. I mean, you can put on the
yeah.
winter dress, have the winter wrap, but there's also a gazebo in the park right by me that's free to use. And what people love is right after Thanksgiving, they decorate this gazebo with Christmas lights around
Oh,
around it,
nice.
and they put a Christmas tree lit up right in the middle. And if that's your thing, it is very romantic, very beautiful for kind of your holiday elopement. So between us, depending on what part of the state you're in, we can really guide you, depending on what you like, where you want to have your ceremony, and we can
Mhm.
make it stress-free, and easy, and we can guide you on getting your marriage license. That's the thing to do, and then invite the people, pick your location, and we got you.
We gotcha. It'll be easy. It'll be fun. You can still get your license in plenty of time to do your wedding before the end of the year. And yeah, or
Yeah.
right after the beginning of the year, depending on your tax status. Not very
Right.
romantic, but it's a good thing to think about. Cool.
Right, right. Some people are taking advantage of open enrollment for health insurance, and they'll save a lot of money, combining their health insurance now,
Yeah.
even if they're planning a big wedding later on, you
Yeah.
know?
It's
So, or take advantage of whatever tax advantages, even if you're planning a big wedding later
yeah.
on, or the destination wedding. And I will tell our listeners, we will put links to both Celia and I have special elopement packages, and she's located more in North Jersey, and I'm down by the shore. So, they're either NewJerseyElope.com or ElopeNewJersey.com.
There you go.
Yeah,
Either way you put it in there, you're gonna get to one of us, right?
right. And we will guide you, and help you pick that perfect spot and tell you how to get that license. So reach out to us. There's still time. And thank you
Yeah.
for joining us
Yeah.
today.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Dreaming of the perfect intimate wedding that's all about the two of you? Exchange vows with the sand between your toes on a beautiful beach, or say I do surrounded by nature in a scenic park, or under the romantic arch in my cozy office. New Jersey Elope makes your special day effortless and unforgettable. Say I do in a beautiful setting without the stress. We handle the details so you can focus on the love. Perfect for couples who want a simple, elegant, and meaningful ceremony. Contact New Jersey Elope today to plan your dream elopement. Quick, easy, and stress-free. New Jersey Elope. This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes, yes.